Welcome to the Repugen Podcast, where we transform patient care. Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. We're going to be looking at online listings for healthcare providers today.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're going to be dissecting a webinar, really breaking down how to optimize your listings and how to get those clicks to actually turn into appointments.
Exactly.
The big takeaway here is understanding that in today's world, your online presence, it really is the first impression you make on potential patients.
It really is. I mean, think of it this way. It's like your virtual storefront.
Yeah.
And just like a physical storefront, it needs to be inviting and informative and easy to find.
Exactly. You wouldn't want to open a practice on some deserted street. Right. You want it to be in a busy location where people are looking for the kinds of services that you offer. And it's the same with the online world, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of busy locations, 97% of patients are searching online for healthcare providers.
97%. That's huge.
It's massive. That means your online listings are no longer optional. They are essential.
Yeah, that's your virtual front door.
It is.
You got to make sure it's wide open, welcoming new patients. And, it's one thing to have a listing, but having a listing that's optimized is a completely different story.
Totally different.
Businesses with complete Google business profiles are 70% more likely to be contacted by potential patients.
Yeah.
So it really does make a difference how you're listed and how much information is there.
It really, really does.
So I know you're all busy running a practice, so let's get right to it.
Huh.
What are some actions that you can take today, right now, to make your online listings work better for you? And the first thing I want to touch on is NAP consistency.
Yes.
Have you heard this term before?
I have.
It's so important. It's really the foundation of a good online presence.
It really is.
NAP stands for a name, address, phone number.
Uh-huh.
And it needs to be consistent on every single platform where your practice is listed. Think about it. You don't want a patient to get lost trying to find you because your address is different on Google than it is on your website.
Exactly. Yeah. Makes it much harder for them to get to you.
Right. Well, we actually did a survey here at Repugen, and we found that 74.5% of patients double check to see if your address and your phone number are consistent across different platforms.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
So if there's a mismatch, it can really damage their trust and make them wonder if you're really credible, right?
Absolutely.
Let me give you a real-world example. Let's say a patient is looking for a dentist, and they find a glowing review about your practice on Google. They click on your listing, they're excited, but then they land on your website and they see a completely different phone number.
Yeah.
They're going to be confused, right? Is this even the same practice?
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it can actually affect your search engine rankings as well. So Google and other search engines, they see those inconsistencies and they start to think, well, is this information really reliable? And that can actually lower your ranking and make it harder for patients to find you in the first place.
So it's not just about confusing patients. It's about actually making sure you're as visible as possible. So what can you do? You got to make sure that your NAP is identical on your website, your Google My Business listing, Yelp, Healthgrades, everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. It's a lot to keep track of.
It's a lot, but there are some great listing management tools out there that can help you streamline the process.
Yeah.
And don't forget about monitoring your listings regularly.
Absolutely.
Think of it like tending to a garden. You got to keep things nice and tidy to attract the right patients. Okay, so we talked about NAP consistency, but what about the content on your listings? How do we make that shine?
Well, think of your listing description as like a mini advertisement for your practice.
Okay.
You really want to showcase your personality, highlight your services, and clearly state the benefits for patients.
Yeah, don't forget visuals.
Yes, visuals are really important.
High-quality photos and even things like virtual tours can make such a difference. Patients want to be able to picture themselves at your practice, and strong visuals help build that familiarity and trust.
Absolutely. And speaking of making things easy for patients, we can't forget about online booking. In today's world, convenience is key, and if a patient can easily book an appointment right from your listing, they're much more likely to follow through.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got NFP consistency, compelling content, beautiful visuals, easy online booking. What else? What's next on our checklist for online listing domination?
Well, let's talk about keywords.
Okay.
Keywords are like the secret codes that unlock better visibility in search results.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, using the right keywords in your listings is absolutely crucial for attracting those specific types of patients that you want to see.
So if I want to attract, let's say, patients who are looking for a pediatric dentist, specifically in my area,
Right.
I need to make sure that that phrase is really prominent in my listing description.
Exactly. Think like a patient. What words or phrases would you use to find a provider like you? There are some great tools out there, like Google Keyword Planner and Ubersuggest, that can help you see how often people are actually searching for those terms. And don't forget to take a peek at what your competitors are doing too.
Yeah, good tip.
It can give you some valuable insights.
Absolutely. Okay, keywords, that's key. But once they find our listing, how do we convince them that we are the best choice? That's where online reviews come into play.
Yes, reviews are so important.
Oh my gosh, they're everything, right?
Yeah, they are really like digital word of mouth, and they can make or break a patient's decision.
Huge.
Absolutely. And our research at Repugen shows that the majority of patients, 75% in fact, are checking reviews on Google. WebMD comes in second at 49%, followed by Yelp at 30%. So having a strong presence on these platforms and actively managing your reviews is really important.
Reviews are like, they increase your visibility, they provide social proof, they solidify your reputation. It's gold for building trust and credibility.
Yeah.
And the best part is you have more control over those reviews than you might think. And we're going to be talking all about managing reviews, some practical strategies for that in the next part. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive on online listings for healthcare providers.
We're picking up right where we left off, looking at how to make your online presence just completely irresistible to potential patients.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep into the world of online reviews.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely crucial because potential patients are reading those reviews.
Yeah.
They're using them to figure out, are you trustworthy?
Yeah.
How do you handle criticism? Do you actually care about patient satisfaction?
It's a big deal.
Huge.
So we know reviews are important.
Yes.
But managing them can feel so overwhelming.
It can be.
What are some impactful actions that we can take to make sure those reviews are working for us, not against us?
Well, it all comes down to being proactive. So enable review notifications on every platform. So you're alerted the second a new review is posted.
Yeah, I actually like to set aside some time every week to check in on our reviews.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it just helps me stay on top of things and respond quickly.
That's a great habit to get into. And remember, reviews are more than just star ratings.
Right?
They're a goldmine of information.
Ooh, I like that.
Take the time to analyze the feedback, both positive and negative. You'll start to see these patterns emerge, and it can give you really valuable insights into what's working well and what could be improved.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about getting those reviews rolling in the first place.
Yes.
I know it can be awkward asking patients for reviews.
It can.
But are there ways to make it feel a little more natural and comfortable?
Absolutely. Train your staff to politely ask for reviews.
Okay.
As part of the checkout process, make it super easy for patients. By providing clear instructions, easy-to-use links, or even QR codes they can just scan with their phone.
QR codes, I love that.
Easy.
Yeah, and here at Repugen, we've actually developed tools specifically for healthcare practices.
Yeah?
To streamline that whole review process.
We have.
So our system actually sends out a simple survey to patients asking how likely they are to recommend the provider.
Mm-hmm.
And if they give a high rating, they're automatically prompted to leave an online review.
It's really simple.
Super simple. It takes the pressure off your staff.
Exactly.
And makes it really easy for patients to share their positive experiences.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, negative reviews.
Yes!
Ugh, I know they could be tough to deal with,
They can be.
but ignoring them is the worst thing you can do.
The worst.
We touched on this earlier, but it's worth repeating. 88% of consumers are more likely to use a business that responds to both positive and negative reviews.
Wow, that's a lot.
And 93% expect a response. So how do we handle those negative reviews in a way that's professional and empathetic?
Well, first take a deep breath.
Okay, deep breaths.
It's natural to feel defensive, but remember, this is an opportunity to showcase your professionalism and turn a negative experience into a positive one.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, step one, don't panic. What's next?
Acknowledge the reviewer's concerns.
Okay.
Don't try to minimize their experience or dismiss their feelings.
Right. Even if we believe the review is unfair or inaccurate, we still need to validate their perspective.
Exactly.
It shows that we're listening and that we care.
It does, and you can use phrases like, we understand your frustration, or we're sorry to hear that you had a negative experience.
Mm-hmm.
It goes a long way in just diffusing the situation.
Yeah. Okay, what's next?
Offer a sincere apology.
Okay.
And this doesn't mean admitting fault.
Right.
It's about expressing regret that their experience wasn't ideal.
So we're saying something like, we're sorry you didn't have the experience that we aim to provide for all of our patients.
Exactly. Now, here's a crucial step. take the conversation offline.
Okay.
Provide a phone number or an email address where they can contact you directly.
So this shows the reviewer that we are serious about fixing the issue.
Yes,
But it also protects patient privacy.
it does.
We never want to be discussing sensitive information in a public forum.
Never.
Okay, that's really important. And responding to negative reviews is just one aspect of this whole online reputation management thing.
Right.
It's really about building a positive online presence overall.
Absolutely.
It's about creating that space where patients feel connected to our practice.
Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit more about building that thriving online community.
Yes.
Because in today's world, it's not enough to just have a website and some online listings.
Right.
Patients want to connect.
They do.
They want to engage, and they want to feel like they're part of something bigger.
Absolutely.
So how do we as healthcare providers create that sense of community online? I know social media is a big part of it.
It is a huge part of it, but it's not just about posting occasionally.
Right.
You really need to create engaging content that sparks conversations.
Okay.
Share valuable information and respond to comments and messages promptly.
Yeah. So it's not just a one-way street.
Oh,
We need to create that dialogue
absolutely.
and make our patients feel heard.
Exactly. Think of your social media platforms as extensions of your practice,
Okay.
welcoming spaces for patients to connect, ask questions, and share their experiences.
I love that. What kind of content works well on social media for building that sense of community?
Well, it really depends on your target audience, but, behind the scenes glimpses into your practice.
Okay.
Heartwarming patient stories, helpful health tips, even a bit of humor can work well.
Yeah. Keep it light.
Exactly.
Okay. So we're posting engaging content. We're interacting with our followers. What else can we do?
Consider hosting online events like Q&A sessions or webinars where patients can interact with you directly.
Ooh, yeah. I love that it's like a virtual open house.
Exactly.
Giving them a chance to get to know us on a more personal level.
Yeah.
Now, I know some people think email is outdated, but I still think it's a really valuable tool
I agree.
for staying connected with patients.
Absolutely. Email marketing allows you to share practice updates, announce special offers, promote events, and nurture those relationships.
Yeah, so building an online community, it's all about connecting with patients on a deeper level,
It is.
providing value and fostering that sense of belonging.
Absolutely.
And when we do it right, it can turn patients into loyal advocates for our practice.
Exactly. Building that online community can lead to increased patient loyalty and word-of-mouth referrals, which are essential for any thriving practice.
They really are. Okay, we've covered a lot in this episode.
I have.
From local SEO handling reviews, building an online community.
It's a lot.
I know it can feel overwhelming, but remember, you don't have to do everything all at once.
Yeah, right. Start with one or two areas that need the most attention and gradually build from there.
And remember, there's support available.
There is.
Repugen offers a range of services,
Yes, we do.
specifically designed to help healthcare providers navigate this world of online reputation management and patient acquisition.
We're here to help you every step of the way.
Awesome. Now, before we wrap up this part, I want to leave our listeners with a question.
Okay.
How can you make your online presence reflect the unique qualities and values of your practice?
It's a great question.
It's all about making sure that your online presence is as unique and as wonderful as your practice is in person.
Exactly. Join us for the final part, where we'll explore even more strategies to level up your online presence and attract more patients.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into online listings for healthcare providers.
We've covered a lot of ground already, from NAP consistency and online reviews to the power of building an online community.
And in this last part, we're going to explore some more advanced strategies that can really make a difference in attracting new patients.
Let's start by talking about content marketing.
Content marketing. Okay. I hear that phrase everywhere, but I'm not always sure what it actually means, especially for healthcare providers.
Well, it's all about creating and sharing valuable, relevant content that engages your target audience. Think of it as providing useful information that helps potential patients understand their health concerns and make informed decisions.
So it's not just about promoting our services. We need to offer some real value to our audience.
Exactly. Consider the questions that your patients ask, the challenges they face, and the information that they're searching for online.
For example, if I'm a pediatrician, I could create blog posts about common childhood illnesses or tips for new parents.
That's a great example. And you could also share those blog posts on social media, include them in your email newsletters, and even turn them into short videos or infographics.
So it's about creating this content ecosystem that works together to attract and engage our audience.
Precisely. And remember, consistency is key. You need to share content regularly to stay top of mind and keep them coming back for more.
But quality matters too, right?
Absolutely. Your content should be well written, informative, and visually appealing. It should also align with your brand and your overall marketing goals.
Okay, so content marketing, it's about providing value, being consistent, and maintaining high quality. Got it.
Exactly. Now let's move on to paid advertising.
I know some healthcare providers are hesitant about paid advertising.
I understand there can be concerns about, ethics and how it reflects on their brand, but the reality is paid advertising can be a really effective way to reach a larger audience and attract new patients.
So how does it actually work?
Well, platforms like Google Ads and social media advertising, they allow you to target your ads to specific demographics, interests, and locations.
So if I'm a dermatologist who specializes in acne treatment, I could target my ads to teenagers and young adults in my area who are, interested in skincare.
Exactly. And the great thing about paid advertising is that it's highly measurable. You can track your results and adjust your campaigns to make sure you're getting the best return on your investment.
So it's a data-driven approach.
It is. Which brings us to our next topic, data analytics.
Data analytics. Okay. That can sound kind of intimidating.
It doesn't have to be. There are lots of user-friendly tools that can help you gather valuable insights about your online presence.
Okay, so what kind of data should we be tracking?
We'll start with your website traffic, how many people are visiting, where they're coming from, and what pages they're viewing.
That makes sense. We want to understand how people are finding us and what they're interested in.
Exactly. You should also track your social media engagement, things like likes, comments, and shares.
So we can see what content is really resonating with our audience.
Yeah. And don't forget about your online listings. Most platforms provide data on views, clicks, and even calls from your listing.
Wow, that's a lot of information. What do we do with all of this data?
Well, you use it to make informed decisions. For example, if you see a blog post that's getting a lot of traffic, create more content on that topic. If your social media engagement is low, maybe experiment with different types of content or posting times.
So it's about constantly testing and tweaking and optimizing based on the data.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the digital world. It's always evolving, which means there are always opportunities to learn and improve.
Wow, we have covered so much in this deep dive. From NAP consistency and online reviews to content marketing, paid advertising, and data analytics. It's a lot to take in.
It is.
But remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Start with the basics, experiment, and find what works best for your practice. And most importantly, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Exactly. Repugen offers a range of services specifically designed to help healthcare providers navigate the ever-changing world of online reputation management and patient acquisition.
We're here to support you every step of the way. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you found it informative and helpful.
And until next time, keep those online listings shining.
Thanks for listening to the Repugen Podcast, your path to better healthcare.